Okay, we're live.
Hi. Look at us.
Okay, yeah, we are now live. All
Hi.
right, good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to another episode of the Evolving Women webinar. My name is Margaret Stout, and I am the Community Partnerships Associate for Sister Reach. Sister Reach is a 501c3 nonprofit organization that is centered around reproductive justice. RJ is the right to have absolute autonomy, regardless of gender and sexual orientation, free from coercion and shame. This also includes the choice to parent, adopt, and if one is to parent, the right to raise a family in a secure and safe environment. Evolving Women webinar is for women to have a safe space to care for ourselves mentally, physically, and emotionally. For this month, I have a licensed yoga instructor and practitioner, also a friend of mine, Desiree Crump, whose workshop Let's Get Limber discusses the importance and benefits of yoga. Good afternoon, Desiree. How are you today? And could you tell the people a little bit about yourself and how you got into yoga?
Of course. So my name is Desiree Crump, as Margaret said. I'm an 11-year practitioner of yoga and licensed yoga instructor. I'm from a little large city called Memphis. I teach right here in the city. I kind of got into yoga accidentally. It was not on purpose. In 2009, I graduated high school. I'm from here in Memphis and went to college to MTSU. And I don't know if you're like me, but I was a broke college student. So I was looking for anything free to get into. And every Wednesday, like today, there was a free yoga class at the rec center. And I went because it was free. And I was the only person to show up. And I fell in love with it. The instructor was a little annoyed that I was the only person showing up, but I liked it because I got one-on-one time to learn about yoga. I left yoga for the first time and felt abnormally happy. In fact, I didn't even know I was sad until I left yoga and was like, why do I feel so happy? And after that, my dorm was right next to the library on campus. So I went to the library and I checked out every book with the name yoga in it. And that's how I got into yoga. And I've been doing yoga ever since. I started to share with my friends and family. They kind of forced me to. And then I became a licensed instructor.
Thank you. I I don't want to make it about myself, but I've had a couple sessions with Desiree, and I've
It's
learned
about
first, and I've learned firsthand that yoga is not just physically what you're doing. It's so many layers to yoga that I feel like it could be so therapeutic for so many people, especially during this time that we're dealing with this pandemic.
absolutely. And it I accidentally reaped the benefits, as you said. Like I started it just because it was free, and then got mental benefits, got physiological benefits. I mean, spiritual. It became such a pivotal part of my life that I couldn't stop practicing. It became necessary, and it enhanced my life to the point where I had to share it with people, and I wanted to share it with people.
Okay. Being that Sister Reach is a reproductive justice organization, could you talk a little bit about the reproductive benefits that, well, actually, I don't want to take you from you. I don't want to control the
No,
narrative.
I think that ties exactly into what you all work for at Sister Reach. By the way, thank you, Margaret. Thank you, Cherise. Thank you, Sister Reach, for not only having me, but educating women and empowering women to make reproductive sound decisions about their bodies and having autonomy about their anatomy. So I'm I love what you all are doing. But as far as yoga goes with reproductive health, um, so there's there's a couple ways. First, there's several ways that yoga helps reproductive health. I'll start with one. When in past generations, studies have shown that Americans, especially during the pandemic now, but before the pandemic, Americans we sit way more than former generations, right? Previous generations. So when that happens, that reduces blood flow, circulation to the pelvic region, your reproductive organs like your uterus, your cervix, and things like that. Well, with yoga, opening hips and stretching the hips, it allows for proper circulation, and it also allows proper circulation to those areas that we don't get as much from being in the spaces that we're, again, especially during the pandemic, people are sitting a lot more. So like you said, these things are more helpful to us that way. Also, yoga helps with hormonal stabilization. So we know that helps with women trying to produce. We know that helps for any type of metabolic issue that it involves hormones. Doctors actually recommend yoga for any woman who's trying to conceive or who's pregnant because it's the most gentle exercise that is the most low risk. So it's very good for our reproductive health.
Okay. And you mentioned pregnancy. How far along
10 1 week. So there's a safe level of yoga for any trimester. You know, I have several prenatal students who actually delivered their babies with their doulas in ancient yoga positions, you know, and very safe, beautiful kids. But there's safe yoga. There's a way that breathing techniques that you should do almost immediately when you know for better oxygenation of the blood. There's yoga for second trimester. So there's gradual yoga to help you along the way to prepare your uterus, your body, your cervix for delivery for your baby. And not only do we see benefits in women, we see differences in their children that they carry. So it's an amazing thing for me, and it's something that's very dear to me because all my sisters have children, and all my friends have children. So that's very important to me.
Yes. Okay. And along the lines of benefits, mental health.
Mental health. So when I talk about yoga with mental health, I don't want there to be any stigmas about that. You know, I want people to understand how common it is in our communities, how common it is and around us, how close it is to us. So mental health wise, fun fact, a Harvard study shows that Black women experience anxiety, depression, heart disease at like not only a disproportionate rate than other groups of ethnic women, but way more than Black men as well when we compare to that. Not only that, Black women and Black women of the LGBT community, especially trans women, they experience more systemic trauma. And systemic trauma is just chronic stress from living in oppressive systems. And this shows on a molecular level in our community. So when we're dealing with mental health, things like systemic trauma, PTSD, anxiety that affects us, we have to think about things that heal us. And the same Harvard studies show that yoga not only helps aid anxiety, depression, PTSD, which are the yogas that I specialize in, by the way, they help with serotonin production. And serotonin production is directly tied to depression. People who experience depression have very, very low serotonin levels. Yoga increases that. So it's directly linked to improving mental health as far as anxiety goes, as far as PTSD goes, and depression. Not only that, it releases way more endorphins than any other workout except aerobics. So as far as yoga goes for mental health, the studies are endless. And not only that, we've seen how much they affect our communities.
Yes. Okay, and one of the things that we have discussed previously, over and over, is the lack of diversity that we see
Yeah.
when yoga is being talked about, when it's considered mainstream at this point, and when you do see it in a mainstream light, it lacks black.
It
It
does.
lacks the black.
It does. It really does. And that actually bothers me because of the history of yoga. So talk about yoga. Let's just begin. Yoga is a 4,000 ancient Indian practice, right? That the term yoga is coined in Sanskrit, and that means to yoke or bind the body and the mind, right? So to bind both energies of those things. That's where the term comes from. But research shows that in hieroglyphics in ancient Africa, our ancestors were doing the same modern and ancient postures long before it was actually called yoga. So yoga has deep roots in our communities. But now in the West, there is a statistic show that yoga practitioners in the United States, there's 20,000 of us, and of the 20, a little over 20,000, of those 20,000 is 82% women. That sounds impressive, right? But of that number, 85% of yoga practitioner women are white women. So although we have a long history with yoga, Black women do, and despite those statistics, we are seeing Black women increasingly do more yoga, which excites me, and I'm very excited to help begin those journeys. But we do see that we are not represented that way in yoga, and I like to change that, which is why I try to make it more accessible to Black women. Some It's not new to us. One of my favorite yogis is Rosa Parks. She was a longtime yogi, and her family talks about how she would just practice yoga wherever they were, anywhere. Like they could be at a grocery store. If Rosa Parks wanted to do yoga, she was doing yoga. Another one of my favorite activists and novelists, Black woman, is Angela Davis. Angela Davis has been doing yoga for literal decades. She actually said she started doing yoga in 1970 when she was arrested for her protests and put into solitary confinement for several weeks. So Angela argues that for the Black woman, yoga, oppression and liberation ends in the mind and manifests physically, just like trauma does. So yoga is Black. It's been Black, it's historically Black, and um, it heals us, and we've used it for a long time. I want to see us do it more as a community and not just individually, like they did, like our ancestors did. But I also want to see us represented in yoga more and more, and not just with the Black, not just with women. I want the teens, the children, and men alike, because it is a part of our culture and our history as well.
Okay, thank you. I didn't know that tidbit about Rosa Parks. I've never heard that before. Never.
It's not even something that they historically, place, because it's something that you hear from family and in her book, but it's not something that, and there's photos. I recommend anyone watching this to look them up or look up photos of Rosa Parks doing yoga. I mean, she was well late into her, 50s doing yoga, like everywhere. And it's we don't hear that side of history. We don't hear the side of history where people are working on self-care and self-love and using that to heal themselves and then heal their communities. So
Yes.
I'm happy to share that part.
Yeah, I think that's important too, because considering, again, with everything that's going on with the protests, with the pandemic, I feel like a lot of people are expecting Black women especially, to always be at work on go all the time. And a lot of times we shy away from self-care. It's kind of taboo in our community, unfortunately, to want to care of ourselves.
So I teach all races and all genders, right? But my primary student body is Black and brown women. That's not accidental. I'm very intentional about that because I firmly believe that if we heal ourselves, we heal communities. And the best way to heal ourselves, and the way I heal myself and continue to, not like it's past tense, I'm always currently working, but it's through self-care. And those practices are not new. They get lost and misrepresented, but they're not new practices. And some of the most powerful women in history did those exact practices, and I think we can learn from that, and we should learn from that. And I'm excited to learn and work with women on that, and we deserve the benefits of that, especially since studies show that we deal with these issues that yoga heals so much more than other groups of people. Not, like I said, not just other women, but other Black people, men as well. Okay. And speaking about Rosa and Angela, about them doing yoga well into their 50s and 60s, do you hear that a lot? I want to speak about yoga for seniors and our elderly loved ones, because that's a misconception that we also deal with in our community, that yoga has an age limit, it has an age requirement, or I should have started that a long time ago, or it's a little too late for yoga, or oh, that couldn't be farther from the truth. As I said, Angela still practices yoga. She has for decades. My youngest student has been 2, and my oldest was 79, almost an octogenarian. And I aspire to be as involved and active as she is. But yoga shows huge benefits for our elderly loved ones in multiple ways. One, it strengthens bones that happens, and so diseases like osteoporosis that are aging diseases, disorders, yoga helps heal those and amend those. Also body pains, aches. Now that's just physical. Another cool way, we know that yoga helps diminish the effects of aging for the brain and the body. But my favorite way, the most cool way that yoga helps with aging of the body and the brain for our seniors are these little things called telomeres. Now, if you're watching this, you may know what a telomere is. Or if you're like me, when I first heard of that, I was like, what is that? How does that tie to me? But a telomere ties to anyone watching this, because everyone watching this has DNA. And a telomere is just the end of the chromosome of each of our DNA. Well, every study shows that as we age, they wear and tear, and they shorten the length of telomeres. Well, how does that tie to yoga? Studies also show that when our elderly loved ones, or just us in general, practice meditation, mindfulness, and yoga, we see an increase. We see an increase in enzymes that protect our telomeres, that slow down the effects of the aging process on the brain and the body. And we don't see that with any other exercise or mental or physical practice. So that is why it's one of the safest ways for us to continue to exercise as we age. And I love to make sure people know that yoga does not have an age limit. It does not have a system. And those are just some of the few benefits of yoga.
Yeah, because I know for sure I heard about digestion. I found that when I was practicing yoga, even if I'm doing yoga at home, I'm very limited in what I know. I know a couple stretches, but when I'm at home, I'm sorry, what you say?
That's all you need to know. When I first began doing yoga, when I went to the free class, I did one posture for almost 1 year. And that's how you slowly get to listen to your body and learn, because you can see your progress more when you're practicing one posture. than when you're doing multiple at a time, because I can slowly focus and protect my body in that position. So that's a good thing.
Yeah.
But when you're doing that,
And so I think what is the one called where you come up and you're laying on your stomach? Is it
on your abdomen, and you push
Cobra?
up.
Yes.
If your arms are down, it's cobra. If it's off the ground, that's upward facing dog. So would you be like this?
Yes, like
Okay.
that.
Upper facing dog. If your body's off the ground, it's upper facing dog. If it's on the ground, it's cobra.
Okay, so when I do that, when I find myself holding that stretch, I definitely feel a difference.
Yeah.
And
your digestion?
oh, it feels like it's waking some things up.
It does. It does. Actually, for your pancreas too, and you get energy boost. You get energy boost because also the spine, the way you move your spine, and the way you're letting oxygen flow through, because we don't move that way all the time. So you definitely feel a difference. And it does invigorate the body. It invigorates the body. It warms the body up. It can increase your blood flow. It increases and it can decrease your blood pressure. So it definitely awakens you systemically too. And then that's the thing about it. There's a part of your body that needs to be, different parts that we need to wake up, whether it's the neck, the shoulders, whether it's the ears, massaging, face yoga, massaging your cerebral cortex, your prefrontal cortex. It's all, ears, neck, wrists, fingers. There's yoga for every part of your body, and it's all equally important. So happy that you do Cobra or one or two, any form of yoga. Okay. And so that's another benefit of yoga. That's one of we talked about the benefits for yoga for specifically Black women, our reproductive health. We talked about it for our elderly loved ones. We talked about it for digestion. I really also want to talk about the accessibility of yoga, as we were talking about. And my goal is to make yoga more accessible, regardless of economic class. So although yoga is a career choice for me as well as a lifestyle, I still think and truly believe that everyone in our community, teens, children, adults alike, should have access to safe healing spaces for yoga and these practices. I don't think they should just be in the nicer, areas. And I don't think it always, which is why I do free yoga classes as well. I don't think it should only be accessible economically. And that's the beauty of yoga. Another benefit of it is in exercise. One, it can be free. You can do yoga sitting right here, just like we are now, on the floor, at the desk, in bed. All you need to do yoga to begin is your breath and your body. And you don't have to come flexible. You don't have to come a certain size. You don't have to come a certain age. You can just start with the body that you have at this very moment. And the best yoga is finding the type of yoga for your body, what feels good to your body. And how do we do that? By starting slow, listening to your body, your breath. It'll tell you exactly what it doesn't like, exactly what it wants. So there are safe ways and free ways to reap the benefits of yoga. Now, another way is also seeing licensed instructors. We can help you through safe sequences to deal with particular ailments. And I'll leave my information if anyone ever has any questions, ever need to come to class about that. But it can be free as well. And another benefit of yoga is it can be done anywhere, anytime, at your own pace. There's not a set way that it looks. There's just a safe way and an unsafe way. That's it.
Okay. Thank you for that. And I have a question, Ms. Desiree. Okay, being that many of us we're working from home, we got the virtual learning going on with the kids. Do you have a couple of breathing exercises or stretches that you can show the viewers so that if they want to release some endorphins and get some
Absolutely.
relaxation at home, we can get something going. Or
Absolutely. So that again, with the beauty of yoga, you don't need much. You just need your breath. So if you're sitting with me right now, we can start. If you're sitting like this, or even if you're sitting in a chair, you don't need much. If you're sitting in a chair, just place your hands on your knees. If you're sitting on the floor, you can just cross your right foot over your left thigh and place your hands a little under your knees for more leverage. But if you're sitting in a chair or at your desk, or even if you're laying down, just place your hands over your knees. Now, I advise everyone to just close their eyes and rest their eyes. While we're here, there's two ways to check in with your mental space and your body. Just two simple things that I do with my students and myself multiple times a day. The first thing is to just slowly separate your lips, open the mouth gently, and unclench the jaw. The second thing we can do after we've unclenched our jaw is take a deep inhale through our nose. It's important that we breathe through our nose when we're practicing yoga because the air is cooling through our nasal passages. So let's take a deep exhale from our nose, resting the jaw. The second body part to check are the shoulders. Just simply put them back and down. Just relax the shoulders and the jaw. Now, very often and unintentionally, unknowingly, our body stores stress and tension in both the jaws and the shoulders. And before we realize it, the body has just stored it and reacted accordingly. But this is the first place to just check in with ourselves. Let's take a couple deep breaths through the nose, a deep inhale through the nostrils, shoulders up when you breathe in, deep exhale, shoulders back and down. Keep the chest up. Now, we're going to open our eyes. Take a deep inhale through our nose. We're going to take our left hand, place it behind our back to our right hip. You can do the right hip or the right thigh, wherever it lands, totally fine. Or you can do the chair behind you, whatever is comfortable. Now take the right hand, place it over the left knee. As we do this, twist our chest and our neck to the left and take a deep inhale. Feel the stretch in your shoulders. Deep exhale. We're going to rotate. Come back to the center, bringing both hands to our knees. Just safe yoga we can do at home. We don't need much, just our hands, just the body that we have at the moment. We're going to take our right hand, lift it, bring it behind the back, to the left thigh or the left hip, wherever it lands is fine on the chair. Let your body will communicate how far it can go. Take our left hand, raise it, place it over the right knee. This way, we twist to the right. Chest up, neck to the right. Deep inhale through the nose. Slow exhale. Very gentle. Deep inhale through the nose. A little patience. Feel the stretch. Exhale, come back to the center. Place both hands. Here we do a gentle twist. Now what we'll do, we'll take our left ear and bring it towards our left shoulder. Feel the twist in the neck. Deep inhale through the nose, chest up. Deep exhale from the nose, chest down. We'll bring the head back to the center. Deep inhale through the nostrils, right ear to right shoulder. Keep the chest up. Simple things that we can all do. Exhale back to the center. While we're here, we'll do some neck circles as well to get the neck moving. So we'll inhale, take our chin, bring it to the chest, but keep the chest upward. Exhale, bring the head to the right. You're going to take it back, over to the left, back to the front. Now that we're in front, we'll bring the chin back to chest, but keep chest strong and up. Expand the chest. Send the head to the left. Nice circle the other direction. Bring it back to the right, all the way down, back to the front. We're going to lift our heads. Now that we've done that with our neck, we can open the shoulders a little more. So we'll take a deep inhale through our nose, bring our shoulders forward, round our back, let our head down. In a little seated cat. Exhale to cow, bring the chest forward, head up, chin up, shoulders down. Deep inhales and exhales through the nose. Round shoulders, back downward, head down, round back. Simple things that we can all practice. Yoga is slow, it can be fast, it can be simple, or it can be advanced, whatever we prefer, whatever our body's telling us. Exhale, bring the shoulders back, chest up, head forward, chin up. We moved our shoulders, we moved our necks. Let's incorporate our elbows. Take both hands, bring them to our shoulders. Head up, chest out. Let's take a deep inhale through our nose. Remember, it's cooler here. Since we're warming our bodies up, we want to stabilize our temperature through our nostrils. Deep exhale through the nose. Bring the shoulders down. Now inhale through the nose, shoulders up. Let's bring our elbows in front of us and have them kiss. Now we're incorporating the shoulders and the elbows, just moving our bodies. And we're going to bring those elbows up and down like a circle. Open up, deep inhale through the nose. Bring the elbows in front, have them kiss. Upward, wrist back. Open up, down. Keep the chest open. Simple things we can all do at home. Now that we've opened the elbows, involved them, we can take both hands over the head. Put the right hand in front of the left hand. Bring it over the head. If not, you can, if that feels a little too discomfortable or too uncomfortable, bring it in front of the head a little more. Now face the palms away. Now face them together. Interlock them, bring them over the head or in front if that's more comfortable. Chest up. Let's inhale through our nose and straighten the arms up towards the sky. Exhale. Bring the shoulders away from the ears. Place the hands on top of the head. Inhale, straighten the arm. Squeeze the beginning of the arm to the head. Reach up. Just relax the body, listen to the breath. Slow movements. Exhale. Bring the shoulders away from the ears. Rest the head. Bring both arms and hands out beside us like a T. Bring the hands in front. We'll bring prayer hands to the heart. We'll bow our heads. Namaste. These are very simple things that I do with children. I do them with my nieces. I do them with my nephews. We can do them for 5 minutes. We can do them for 20 if we like. But very simple.
Thank you so much. I had to come out of my other shirt so that I could.
Body increasing?
Oh yes, and I couldn't make my elbows touch. I couldn't make them kiss with the others.
That's fine. See, but that means you listen to your body, right? Because
Oh
your
yes.
body's gonna tell you, hey, I'm not ready to do that right now. Just try it. But it's more so about the exertion, trying to do it. And the more you do that, very soon your elbows will be kissing.
Oh, they kiss. They kiss. I just couldn't kiss them with the shirt on.
Makes me happy.
Well, Desiree, thank you so much for this session. And also, I want to thank you so much for dedicating your time, your experience, your skill to myself and the viewers here. And if you don't mind, if people are interested in reaching you, how do they contact Desiree?
Of course, so you can contact me first. So thank you for having me. Thank you for coming to my classes and supporting, my style of healing and my holistic practices. Thanks to Sister Reach again. Thanks for anyone watching this as well. But if anyone would like to contact me for any type of yoga questions or anything, you can contact me by email. My email is limber, Limber, ladies, LDIES, @gmail.com. They can also contact me by phone if they'd like. They can reach me there. My phone number is 214 area code 918-4491. If you have any inquiries about yoga questions that you want to do at home with me, benefits of yoga, where to begin. Yoga is also all inclusive. It's not just what you do with your body, it's what you read, it's what you eat, it's what you put on your body. So if you have any questions about anything like that, feel free to contact me.
Okay, and speaking of what you put on your body, also Desiree, you have a company as well. You sell beauty products. Could you tell us a little bit more about that?
I make organic skincare that I started making for myself and like my friends and family, really, because I wanted something that was safe for sensitive skin. My skin's very sensitive. I wanted to have something safe for eczema, something safe for psoriasis, and I want something that was made naturally and locally. So that's exactly what I do. I make skincare systems for hyperpigmentation, to reduce breakouts, to constrict pores. I also make hair growth conditioners and shampoos. So if you have any questions about that, it's called Face Food. Feel free to contact me as well.
All right. I mean, you see, the proof is in her in the pudding. Look at her hair. Look at her face. You guys.
Thank you. That's so nice. That's very kind.
Oh yes, definitely.
I love you. I'm so happy to do this with you again. I've never done a webinar, so this was great.
Oh yes, I took Desiree out of her element, and she doesn't do the Zoom thing. So I'm really, really, really grateful and honored that you broke the mold for me and Sister Reach. So I really appreciate.
I'm glad that you had me. You selected me. Like, thank you, and that you made me comfortable enough to do technology. It's beautiful. Thank you.
And I'm glad of that. And again, I can't say it enough. Thank you so much for doing the Evolving Women webinar. And I want to thank the viewers for tuning in. If you can't get enough of Sister Reach, follow us on Facebook if it's been shared and you're just viewing. Follow us at Sister Reach. That's SISTERREACH. Our Instagram and Twitter handles are the same. Also, when you have a moment, check out our website. That is www.sisterreach.org. Again, thank you. I've had fun. I'm feeling more relaxed. I feel like I need a nap now. I'm so relaxed.
It can help with sleep. It can help with sleep, or it can help wake you up, whichever you need.
See, more benefits to yoga.
More benefits, they're endless.
So again, thank you all for joining me, and I hope to see you all next month for September's Evolving Women webinar. All right, everyone, have a wonderful afternoon. Bye-bye.
Thank you, bye.